and welcome to Ethics Express, Conflicts of Interest Explained in 5 minutes or less, the show where we discuss Chapter 68 of the New York City Charter, the city's Conflicts of Interest Law. My name is Phil Weitzman. I'm a senior trainer with the New York City Conflicts of Interest Board, and here joining me today is Ethan Carrier, an enforcement attorney with the board. Today we're going to discuss the topic of political activities and Chapter 68. So Ethan, I have a few questions for you, but the first is really a general one. I know that the Conflicts of Interest Law has several different rules that impact political activities. Just generally, how would you describe those rules?
Yeah, that's right. The people of New York have decided that they want city employees to make decisions about city business based on what's in the best interest of the city, not on their partisan political affiliations. And so to that end, Chapter 68 of the New York City Charter has some rules that prohibit things like misusing city resources for political purposes and certain kinds of political coercion.
Okay, so how would you describe those rules more specifically? What would be some examples of violations, for instance?
Well, with regard to misusing city resources for political purposes, the prohibition there essentially gets at using things like city letterhead to send out campaign fundraising letters, or using a city telephone to make phone calls for a campaign. Similar things with fax machines or really any city resource, including doing these things on city time.
All right, and how about the political coercion rules? What would be an example of a violation there?
An example of that would be, well, really there are a couple of things. The rule gets at superiors coercing their subordinates to participate in political campaigns or contribute to political campaigns. And the rules also get at people using political favors to buy jobs, essentially.
Okay, well, so far the things you've described seem fairly obvious. Don't use city resources for political purposes, don't buy and sell city jobs, don't coerce a subordinate into volunteering for a political campaign. Mm-hmm. Are there any aspects of these rules that might surprise people a bit?
Yeah, I think people might be surprised by the city's zero tolerance policy with regard to the misuse of city resources for political purpose. For example, sending even one email for a political campaign using your city email account would be a violation.
That is strict. And how about the political coercion rules? Any surprises there?
Well, with regard to those rules, I think people might be surprised that if a supervisor even asks a subordinate about his participation in a political campaign, that could be a violation.
Interesting. So as a supervisor, it's my responsibility to understand that even a question that I think is innocent could appear coercive to my subordinate when it comes to political activities.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Though you should keep in mind that if a superior and a subordinate were to end up at a campaign event together uncoordinated, that's not a violation.
Okay, so let's change gears a little bit. I've heard that there are special restrictions for high-ranking city officials. Could you describe those?
Sure. For certain city officials who are in positions that have been designated as having substantial policy discretion, those officials have more limitations on their conduct. Specifically, they can't participate in campaign fundraising for city elected officials who are running for any office, including state or federal office, or anyone who's running for a city elected position.
Okay, what if I had questions about particular situations? Is there anywhere I could go for more information?
Yeah, you can go to the board's website for more information, and that's at www.nyc.gov/ethics, or you can just give us a call at 212-442-1400, and we'll provide confidential advice.
Well, thank you for joining us, Ethan. It was very informative.
Sure, thanks a lot, Phil.